Rajaram, Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Jaya Ram, Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Rajaram, Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Jaya Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Jaya Sitaram. Jaya Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Jaya Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Jaya Sitaram. Jaya Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jaya Sitaram. Sitaram, Rajaram, Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram.
Krishna. So we'll pause there for some more kirtan there. 2.5 minutes. We'll stop there. Thank you. You can hear this later. Okay. So switching gears from Lord Chaitanya to Lord Ramachandra. 1 second. Share screen. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Pam karoti vachalam pangam langhayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. So tomorrow is Rashri Ram Navami. So I thought we will hear the glories of Lord Ram. And of course, I was thinking, where to begin, which way to go, Ramayana. But Ramayana, where do you begin? Where do you end? And yeah. So then Srimad Bhagavatam, and coincidentally, Guru Maharaj is here in Nepal, Chicago area. He's been mostly doing Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, but also he's been speaking a little bit about Lord Ram in preparation for Ram Navami tomorrow. So today evening, I think this is part 2. Last Sunday, he did part 1, prayers of Hanuman, part 1. And today evening, I think he's doing part 2. So this is in the 5th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 19. We will not get into the technicalities of the island of Jambudvipa and all that. We'll just read the introduction, first paragraph, and then we'll go right to the verses that Hanuman is actually glorifying Lord Rama. I hope everyone can hear me clearly. Yeah. And you can see the screen. Yeah. This chapter describes, chapter 19, this chapter describes the glories of Bharata Varsha. And it also describes how Lord Ramachandra is being worshipped in the tract of land known as Kimpurusha Varsha. The inhabitants of Kimpurusha Varsha are fortunate because they worship Lord Ramachandra with his faithful servant Hanuman. Lord Ramachandra exemplifies an incarnation of Godhead, descends for the mission of Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Cha Dushkritam, protecting the devotees and destroying the miscreants. Lord Ramachandra exhibits the actual purpose of an incarnation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the devotees take the opportunity to offer loving transcendental service to him. One should surrender fully to the Lord, forgetting one's so-called material happiness, opulence, and education, which are not at all useful for pleasing the Lord. The Lord is pleased only by the process of surrender unto him. So this is the verse that I was thinking of speaking actually. So text 7. So we'll go to text 7. Who can attain Lord Rama? So Hanuman is glorifying Lord Ramachandra in this chapter. I'll read the verses ahead, but we'll discuss chapter text 7. Text 1. Srila Sukadeva Goswami said, My dear king, in Kim Purusha Varsha, great devotee Hanuman is always engaged with the inhabitants of that land in devotional service to Lord Ramachandra, the elder brother of Lakshmana and dear husband of Sita Devi. A host of Gandharvas is always engaged in chanting the glories of Lord Ramachandra. That chanting is always extremely auspicious. Hanumanji and Arshtisena, the chief person in Kimpurusha Varsha, constantly hear those glories with complete attention. Hanuman chants the following mantras. Text 3. So this is actually Om Namo Bhagavate, like that verse is there, I think. Let's see. Om Namo Bhagavate Uttama Shlokaya Nama Arya Lakshana Shila Vrataya Namah Upashikshit Atmana Upasita Lokaya Namah Sadhu Pada Nikshanaya Namo Brahmanya Devaya Mahapurushaya Maharajaya Nama Iti. Okay. Next verse. Let me please your lordship by chanting the Bija Mantra Omkara. I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, who is the best among the most highly elevated personalities. Your lordship is the reservoir of all the good qualities of Aryans, people who are advanced. Your character and behavior are always consistent, and you always control your senses and mind. Acting just like an ordinary human being, you exhibit exemplary character, teach others how to behave. It's a touchstone that can be used to examine the quality of gold. But you are like a touchstone that can verify all good qualities. You are worshipped by the Brahmanas, who are the foremost of all devotees. You, the Supreme Person, are the King of Kings, and therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Starting tomorrow morning in India, we're going to hear 3 lectures by His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. Coincidentally, they're on these verses. So in case devotees in India are joining, so Maharaj is speaking about these verses from Bhagavatam also. So you can hear in detail these verses, 3 detailed lectures. Okay, next one. यत्तत् विशुद्ध अनुभावमात्रमेकं स्वतेजसद्वष्ट गुणव्यवस्थं प्रत्यक् प्रशान्तं सुधियपलम्बनं हि अनामरूपं निरहं प्रपच्ये. The Lord, who is pure from Sachidananda Vigraha, is uncontaminated by the modes of material nature, can be perceived by pure consciousness. The Vedanta is described as being one without a second. Because of his spiritual potency, he is untouched by the contamination of the material nature. And because he is not subjected to material vision, he is known as transcendental. He has no material activities, nor has he a material form or name. Only in pure consciousness, Krishna consciousness, can one perceive the transcendental form of the Lord. Let us be firmly fixed at the lotus feet of Lord Ramachandra, and let us offer our respectful obeisances unto those transcendental lotus feet. It's a long purport, but I will skip that. You can hear Radha Govind Maharaj. Text 5, now some pastimes. It was ordained that Ravana, the chief of the Rakshasas, could not be killed by anyone but a man. And for this reason, Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared in the form of a human being. Lord Ramachandra's mission, however, was not only to kill Ravana, but also to teach mortal beings that material happiness centered around sex life or centered around one's wife is the cause of many miseries. He is the self-sufficient Supreme Personality of Godhead, and nothing is lamentable for him. Therefore, why else could he be subjected to tribulations by the kidnapping of Mother Sita? So again, you can hear these verses in detail from Radha Govind Maharaj or Guru Maharaj. Text 6. Since Lord Sri Ramachandra is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudev, he is not attached to anything in this material world. He is the most beloved super soul of all realized souls, and he is their very intimate friend. He is full of all opulences. Therefore, he could not possibly have suffered because of separation from his wife, nor could he have given up his wife and Lakshmana, his younger brother. To give up either would have been absolutely impossible. Anyway, we are hearing also similarly Chaitanya Leela. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas, and we can hear the shoka, the transcendental lamentation of the devotees. So something similar is being mentioned here. Hanuman is saying that although it seems that the Lord's feelings for his wife are, he seems like an ordinary materialist, crying, asking the trees and the birds and the plants, etc., if they have seen his beloved Sita, etc. But these feelings, as we are hearing from Chaitanya Charitamrita also, they are the topmost feelings of Vipralamba. So in Chaitanya Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a way, as Radharani, he cried for Krishna. Here we see the other way around. Lord Rama, he is absolutely uncontrollable. We'll not get into the details of how when Mother Sita was stolen and then he comes back and then he chastises Lakshmana, why did you leave her alone? I told you not to leave her alone. And his brother is also trying to console him and asking him to gather his senses, etc. Anyway, so these are not material emotions, these are all transcendental emotions. So that's what Hanuman is speaking. Okay. And then now, so coming to us, this is 519, text 7. Nanunam nachanma nunam mahato na sobhagam navan na buddhir nakritis thosha hetuhu thairyad prishthan apina vanaukashash chakara sakhe vata Lakshmana agrajah. न जन्म नूनम महतो न सौभागम न वान न बुद्धिर न कृतिस्थोष हेतु तैर्यद विशिष्ठान अभिनो विनौकशस चकार सख्ये बति Lakshmana agrajah. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. One cannot establish a friendship with the Supreme Lord Ramachandra on the basis of material qualities, such as one's birth in an aristocratic family, one's personal beauty, one's eloquence, one's sharp intelligence, or one's superior race or nation. None of these qualifications is actually a prerequisite for friendship with Lord Sri Ramachandra. Otherwise, how is it possible? So he's talking about us, Hanuman, Vanaras. Otherwise, how is it possible that although we uncivilized inhabitants of the forest have not taken noble births, although we have no physical beauty, And although we cannot speak like gentlemen, Lord Ramachandra has nevertheless accepted us as friends. So this is our hope. Hanuman, the great devotee, is speaking like this. Put by Srila Prabhupada. In a prayer to Krishna, expressing her feelings, Srimati Kunti Devi called him Akinchana Gochara. The prefix a means not, and Kinchana means something of the material world. One may be very proud of his prestigious position, material wealth, beauty, education, and so on. But although these are certainly good qualifications in material dealings, they are not necessary for achieving friendship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who possesses all these material qualities is expected to become a devotee. One who possesses all these material qualities is expected to become a devotee. And when he actually does, the qualities are properly utilized. Those who are puffed up by a high birth, wealth, education, and personal beauty, Janma Aishwarya Shrutashri, unfortunately do not care for developing Krishna consciousness, nor does the Supreme Personality of Godhead care about all these material qualifications. The Supreme Lord is achieved by devotion. Bhaktya mam avijanati. One's devotion and sincere desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead are the only qualifications. Rupa Goswami has also said that the price for achieving God's favor is simply one's sincere eagerness to have it. Laulyam ekam mulyam. Price. The greed is only the only price. The Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is said, this is regarding Kalavecha Sridhar. Kalavecha seva kera dekha bhagya sima, Brahma Shiva kande yara dekhiya mahima. Dhana jane panditye Krishna nahi paye, kevala bhaktira vasa Chaitanya Gosai. Vasha, kevala bhaktira vasha Chaitanya Gosai. Amazing. Behold the great fortune of the devotee Kulavecha. Lord Brahma and Shiva shed tears upon seeing his greatness, but cannot attain Lord Krishna by any amount of wealth, followers, or learning. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is controlled only by pure devotion. Bhaktiladhar Prabhu, that recently in one of those lectures, Maharaj was also quoting a Mundaka Upanishad verse. Very famous verse, Prabhupada quotes it a lot. Can you find that? Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya Na Buddhaya Na Medhaya Na Bahuna Shrutena. And then the second half. But one who the Lord chooses. There's a lot of debate about who does the Lord choose and all that. One the Lord chooses, he reveals himself to them. So if you can find that verse. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya Na Medhaya Na Bahuna Shrutena. Not by Nayam Atma Pravachanena. One cannot attain Krishna by giving too many pravachanas. Na Medhaya, by intelligence. Na Bahuna Shrutena, even by too much hearing. One cannot attain him. But whom the Lord chooses, he's easily able to approach the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying, Bhakti Amama Vijanati. So all these are not qualifications. There's only one qualification, is to be a devotee. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very sincere devotee whose name was Kulavecha Sridhar, and whose only business was to sell pots made of the skin of banana trees. Whatever income he had, he used 50% for the worship of Mother Ganges, and with the other 50% he provided for his necessities. On the whole, he was very poor that he lived in a cottage that had a broken roof with many holes in it. He could not afford brass utensils, and therefore he drank water from an iron pot. Nevertheless, he was a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. is a typical example of how a poor man with no material possessions can become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. The conclusion is that, again, the conclusion is not that we have become a beggar, as Prabhupada wrote already earlier. If one has these qualities or these opulences, one should become a devotee. If one doesn't have it, one should become a devotee. If one has it, one should become a devotee. Doesn't matter. So there is no need to try for an upgrade program, material upgrade program. Prabhupada is saying we can print a devotional service anywhere. Getting a material upgrade will not help in, hey, cannot help us in devotion. We think it might help. Anyway, on the whole, he was so very poor that he lived in a cottage that had a broken roof with many holes in it. He could not afford brass utensils, and therefore he drank water from an iron pot. Nevertheless, he was a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's a typical example of how a poor man with no material possessions can become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. Conclusion is that one cannot attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Gosai through material opulence. That shelter is attainable only by pure devotional service. Yeah, so anyway, we have devotees all over the world. We have devotees in Indore. We have all rungs of devotees in terms of material opulences. People who have devotees who have practically not much, somewhere in between, and people who are millionaires and billionaires. Yeah, anybody can become a devotee. And if one sincerely practices devotional service, then anyway, the Supreme Lord, I will not mention any names, but the Supreme Lord comes in your dreams as Gauranitai, and he says, I want to be worshipped by you. Or he didn't say that, but the devotee saw that he was worshipping the Lord in his home, Gauranitai. So we got deities, and there's a deity installation tomorrow. Yeah. So this devotee is practically, yeah. Anyway, he used to drive a taxi. Came from a village with nothing, and he became a driver of a devotee. Yeah, and he chants the holy name. He reads. He could not even. Yeah, it's anyway. Good, amazing story. He was illiterate. He began to learn to read from Srila Prabhupada books. He learned reading by reading Prabhupada books. So, and he has received Harinam Diksha. He's doing Bhakti Shastri. He's going to worship deities. Yeah. Anyway, so he's focused. He's quite focused on his devotional life, unlike some of us who are distracted. That's the point. Yeah, he's not trying to get an upgrade and all that. He's accepted his situation and he's focused. So Kulavicha Sridhar, nevertheless, he was a great devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is a typical example of how a poor man with no material possessions can become a most exalted devotee of the Lord. The conclusion is that one can attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna or Chaitanya Gosai. Oh, sorry. The conclusion is that one cannot attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna or Sri Chaitanya Gosai through material opulences. That shelter is attainable only by pure devotional service. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktiruttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. Next verse is also similar theme. So I'll read that. So again, Sura, Asura, Va api, Atha Vanaro Naraha, same thing. Sura, Asura, Vapi, Atha Vanaro Naraha, Sarvatmana Ya Skritainam Uttamam, Sukritagnyam Tamam, Bhajeta Ramam, Manujakritim Harim, Ya Uttaran Anayat Koshalan Divam Iti. Therefore, whether one is a demigod or a demon, a man or a creature, man or a creature other than man, Nara va anaraha, Sura asura, Nara anaraha, a man or creature other than man, such as a beast or a bird, like Jatayu. Everyone should worship Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appears on this earth just like a human being. There is no need of great austerities or penances to worship the Lord, but he accepts even a small service offered by his devotee, like the small squirrel. Thus he is satisfied, and as soon as he is satisfied, the devotee is successful. That's it. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati kutopi. Thus he is satisfied, and as soon as he is satisfied, the devotee is successful, the secret of success. Indeed, Lord Sri Ramachandra brought all the devotees of Ayodhya, northern India, Taran, back home, back to Godhead. Just Ayodhya is Ayodhya, yeah. Lord Sri Ramachandra is so kind. Now, this is a beautiful purport. Lord Sri Ramachandra is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he is very easily satisfied by little service rendered by anyone, human or not. This is a special advantage of worshipping Lord Sri Ramachandra. There is the same advantage in worshipping Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, and Lord Ramachandra in the manner of Kshatriyas. Sorry, I'm not reading it properly, sorry. This is the special advantage of worshipping Lord Sri Ramachandra, and there is the same advantage in worshipping Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Full stop. Lord Krishna and Lord Ramachandra, in the manner of Kshatriyas, sometimes showed their mercy by killing asuras. But Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awarded love of God without difficulty even to the asuras. All the incarnations of the Supreme Personality Godhead, but especially Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and later Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, delivered many of the living entities present before them. Indeed, almost all of them. Indeed, almost all of them. Now, Prabhupada is glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore represented in the six-armed form, Shadabhuja form, which is a combination of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The best purpose of human life can be fulfilled by worshipping the Shadabhuja Murti, the form of the Lord with six arms, two arms of Ramachandra, two arms of Krishna, and two arms of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, of course, it doesn't mean literally we go and get a Murti like Sarvama Bhattacharya was given by now, but it means that one could worship either of them, their form, but one can worship all these three forms by glorifying them, by hearing their glories, by telling about their glories to others. So in that way, one can worship the Lord's. Okay, that's it. I think that's it. 7, 8. 7, 8. So that's the prayers of Hanuman and there. Oh, you found the verse? Okay, it's okay. Yeah, it's a very nice verse. Nayam Atma. Oh, this is different. Oh, the top one. Yeah, sorry. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya Na Medhaya Na Bahuna Shuthena Yam Avaisha Vrinata Thena Abhyas tashaisha atma vivrinute anum swam. That Supreme Lord is not obtainable by expert explanations, by vast intelligence, or even by much hearing. He is obtained only by one whom himself chooses. Such a person, he manifests his own form. So there was a lot of discussion about who he chooses. Yesterday, also in our morning, India morning class, this whole thing about causeless mercy and all that stuff. But anyway, we should not have any question, any doubts whether the Lord has chosen us. We are here. We are here. The way I understand it, the shloka and Maharaj also confirmed, is that the Supreme Lord is not obtainable by the process, the ascending process, Aroha Paddhati. He is attained by the descending process. He is obtained only by one whom he chooses, matlab, means Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So, who is ready to accept his system of one who says he is my devotee, he is not my devotee. One who is my devotee, he is my devotee. So one who is ready to follow that system of the Lord, he is usually chosen, or he chooses the Lord actually. Anyway, the Lord has already chosen us. As Guru Maharaj has taught us in our japa, sometimes we pray to the Lord, please accept me, please accept me. But anyway, but the Lord has already, I mean, the point is, the Lord has already accepted us. And the challenge is from our side. So we don't need to worry about whether the Lord has accepted us or not. And even this verse of Hanuman is saying the same thing. When he has accepted us, Hanuman is saying humbly, we are not born in a high family, not very pretty to look at, not very intelligent monkeys. But the Lord accepted us as his friends. So the Lord could, of course, find Sita himself. But anyway, this whole Ramayana is a beautiful pastime. But then he forms a friendship with Sugriva, and as if he needs Sugriva to find Mother Sita. But in forming a friendship with Sugriva, essentially, that means that he formed a friendship with all these vanaras, all these monkeys. Yeah. So the Lord, yeah, so we need not have any doubt whether we are chosen or not. We are definitely chosen. We would not be here otherwise. Everybody is chosen, as I said again. Yeah, we are saying no. Krishna is equally merciful to everyone. Yeah. We are saying no. Or the people in general are saying no. Yeah. And that's what Hanuman is saying, that the Lord is very easily approachable. The only price is eagerness. The only eligibility for devotional service, like Rupa Goswami says, is sincerity. That's it. You have to want it. That's it. And that's the beauty of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He doesn't even put any conditions. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Abandon all varieties of religion, surrender unto me. Aham Tvam Saropape Bhyo Moksha Ishyami Masuchah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not even that. Just take the holy name. Shraddha Mulya Shuddha Nam Sheha Te Pikaya. So just have faith. Take the holy name. Anyway, so it's a very special festival. Anyway, I'm remembering some childhood days actually. Uh, we used to live in Baroda, and I don't remember many festivals, but I somehow mainly only remember Ram Navami actually. When we were very young, I think from maybe 6, 7 years, 6, 7 years till 12, 13, 14, 15, probably we used to go. Yeah, there used to be a Ram Navami celebration. I don't remember. Maybe by yeah, some Sri Vaishnavas or some Tamil Sangha or anyway, Telugu Sangha. I don't remember now. But we used to go to that festival, and of course, we used to just play and all that. Not really interested much in what was happening inside. I think there was some katha probably going on or some yagna and all that. But I remember I would go for the prasadam, that special kheer that they would make, almost like our Bengali style kheer that Prabhupada gave the recipe. That in, oh, I still remember it. Yeah, and maybe just having that prasadam. Somehow that became a devotee after that. Anyway, so those are fun times. So I used to go for prasadam. All the so many kids would be there, just play outside, and then just wait for prasadam time, have prasadam, and then come back. I think we would spend 5 6 hours there. The adults were busy with performing the yagna or whatever they were doing. Kids were playing outside. It was not even a park. I think it was just some big, some ashram or something like that. Anyway, yeah. And many of us have grown up. I think most of us have grown up actually hearing Ramayana more than Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, we didn't have access to Srimad Bhagavatam. Ramayana was what we grew up hearing. Amar Chitra Katha and all that. And of course, as we see in ISKCON, most of our focus is, of course, on Radha Krishna. Uh, Only around Ram Navami, we typically hear about Lord Rama. Yeah. So anyway, at some point, I remember some devotees. I think even I had made a request of Guru Maharaj that it would be really nice to hear from him about Ramayana. I think 2003, 4, 5, like that. And of course, Maharaj, he obliged and he would do seminars on different pastimes of Ramayana. Yeah, and then anyway, not that, and then the whole initiative even to actually do this whole, Ayodhya Yatra, Ramayana Yatra, 3 yatras. Yeah. Anyway, so Maharaj is very merciful. So that all manifested from a simple request. So as you know, Maharaj, he loves to deep dive into scriptures. And so, of course, Srila Prabhupada did not leave Ramayana, commentaries on Ramayana for us. I think he wanted to, but he didn't have time. And so some of Srila Prabhupada disciples, they translated Valmiki Ramayana and like Purna Pragnya, Krishna Dharma, Bhakti Vikash Maharaj. So some abridged version of Ramayana was there. But, Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, he likes, detailed commentaries. And so he began to do research. Okay, so where would be detailed commentaries? Okay, so Ramayana happens to be one of the core scriptures of the Sri Vaishnavas. Then Maharaj went in that direction. And this whole team of Shamakund Prabhu and Nityananda Pran Prabhu and all of these devotees, they got copies of all these Sri Vaishnava commentaries, Telugu, Tamil, etc. And then our team compiled, hundreds, thousands and thousands of pages of these commentaries. Maharaj would read. Maharaj was given that. He had to sort of digest all that. And then he performed the 2 whole yatras on those commentaries. He keeps quoting those yatra commentaries, right? Sri Veeraraghavacharya and all these acharyas. So there's so many Ramayanas are there. Khamba Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, Tulsidas. So all these commentaries are mostly in the Sri Vaishnava line. So the devotees, they gathered all these, they compiled. And Maharaj would prepare. We even shared publicly, actually, while the yatra was going on, even sort of a revision, like 12, 13, yeah, 10 to 12 hours of just being absorbed in rereading the compiled book that was given to him. He was personally involved. Maharaj was personally involved in what he wants in that final manual and not. So many revisions. So these devotees did great services for months and months. Shamapan Prabhu's team. Anyway, so just appreciating how much work Maharaj puts into something. So we had a desire to hear his Ramayana from bona fide sources, because even in the Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj is hearing from Sukadeva Goswami in the 9th canto, Sukadeva Goswami actually says that you must have heard Ramayana a lot already. So if we will not go into the details of Ramayana, but again, Ramayana, there are bona fide sources, there are not bona fide sources, even during those times. So Maharaj, he does his due diligence and he engages his disciples, and it's quite amazing, fascinating. So he began as as a few pastimes here and there. We have heard, right? Mother Sita instructing Lord Rama, or the dog giving advice, etc., from Ramayana here and there. And then to just dive deep. And then now we have in this Gita Nagari, we have Ramayana Gita Nagari Yatra. So yes, that's it from me. Any comments, questions, Jerry? You can share about how Lord Rama has influenced your life. I know Akhiladar here, he remembers many Chaupahe and all that from Tulsidas, Ramayana and all that. Shwevaram, Shweta, every. Anyway, most enchanting pastimes. And he's the ideal person. Lord Rama is the ideal character. Krishna is a little twisted and all that. But Lord Rama is squeaky clean. Anything anyone can share.
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. I wanted to just express how merciful the Lord is in terms of making his appearance again and again, and just in our lives as appearance days and so on. Looking at this Bhakti Anonymous or Bhakti Revival movement, which is going on right now in terms of um, y- you know um, yes, we need to. I think I can speak for myself. I mean, in a way, I guess all of us go into those deep dark wells of where we need to be revived in our own in the path that we are following, and appreciating the Lord's intervention in a way through all these appearance days, and through so many other things, but particularly I was just thinking about this. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Lord leaves behind so many subject matters to discuss. Parikshit Maharaj is saying that actually he is about to leave his body in 7 days. And he's telling Sukadeva Goswami, wow, this is great. This Shravana Utsav, 7 days. This is the biggest benediction in my life. And he says, been suffering, Tapatraya, like all of us. Like, of course, he was not suffering, but all the opulences he had, he said, this is nothing. These opulences are nothing. This, what you're doing, go on speaking. So 8th canto, he wants to hear about this whole Amrita Manthan, the churning of the milk ocean in that context. Anyway, so the Parikshit Maharaj keeps saying in between everywhere, go on, go on, go on, go on. Let this not stop. Yeah, and he was cursed to die in 7 days because of and because he succumbed to the thirst. So he took a vow to not even take water and just hear. Yeah, this is the greatest gift, as you're saying. I mean, Krishna, he performs his pastimes to attract the minds of living entities. And then, yeah, great devotees who have left, who have compiled the scriptures, the commentaries. Yeah. And Prabhupada, who gave this culture to hear. As I was sharing, yeah, so naturally, of course, in the land of India, devotion is there, but yeah, it was not clear. Nothing was clear. As Prabhupada writes in his books, we thought devotion was just a sentiment. But devotional service is not idle meditation or sentimental ecstasy. Its substance is pure action. Prabhupada talked about devotional service, devotional service. Bhakti, he translated bhakti as devotional service. That was a paradigm change, paradigm shift. Something that you do, as you're saying, with your hands and legs and mind and senses and intelligence. It's not passive, but it's very, very active. So it's the whole world opened, by Vaishnava's mercy. Yeah, so we are so fortunate, we were discussing Chaitanya Charitamrita and now with Ramayana, like we're spoiled. Yeah, we have so many things. We don't have enough time actually to discuss these things. Yeah, what is that shloka? Akiladhar Prabhu. Very beautiful shloka, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Maya Mugdha Nahi Jeevera Nahi Swatah Krishna Gyan. I think, right? Yeah, something like that. Maya Mugdha Jeevera Nahi Swatah Krishna Gyan. You can find that.
जीवेर कृपाए कोइला कहा
Krishna Veda
कृष्ण
Purana. Krishna Veda Purana. Jivera Kripa Koila Krishna Veda Puran. There you go. Maya Mugdha. So the living entity bewildered. Nahi Swataha Krishna Gyan. He forgets his innate Krishna consciousness. Jivera Kripa Koila Krishna Veda Puran. To uplift the living entities. Krishna has compiled Vedas and Puranas. Vedeshcha Sarva Ahameva Vedyo Vedanta Krit. Vedanta Krit. Vyasadeva is also a Salah expansion of the Lord, even if you look at it that way. Krishna Dvapainaya Vyasa. Anyway, the scriptures are the greatest benediction. Everything, holy name, deity form, Prashadam. Vaishnavas, deities. Yeah, we have everything for each one of our senses also. Yeah. something for the ear, something for the nose, something for the eyes. Each and every sense, Krishna has given us something. Because Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, even if one of the senses, if is astray, it can derail the boat of self-realization. That's very perfect, very scientific. But Durdevam Mitrisham Vihajanina Nuraga, but unfortunate. Anything else? Thank you, Shritarati. Andrila, Motherji, what do you think? Sita, Satya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Prabhu, I had this kind of like, based on what I was hearing now, Krishna is equal to everybody, but he chooses, right, where he wants, or like, where the, and then you also mentioned that, like, if the devotee is ready to receive. So can you please clarify the three things? Like, one is he's equal to everybody, and then he chooses, and then this the devotee is ready to receive. So how do I connect all the three?
Well, Krishna says, Samoham sarvabhutesho name dvesho asti na priyaha. I'm equal to all. Nobody is my friend or enemy. That's one verse, right? Second, Krishna also says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one approaches me, I reciprocate with him. Follow. Okay, if Ravana wants to be an enemy, then fine. Okay, fine. I'll be an enemy. I don't have animosity towards you. The Lord doesn't have animosity towards Ravana. But in the past time, Ravana has. Then the Lord says, okay, fine, I'll be your enemy. Vibhishana, although he was born in the demoniac family, he said, I want to choose Rama. Rama said, okay, great. He said, Lord Rama says, look, even now, there's a famous shloka of Ramayana. We could cover that also. Once, even just once, if somebody says to Lord Rama, I'm yours, from today I'm yours, the Lord gives him all protection for the rest of eternity. And he says, even if this Raman, although he has done all these foolish things, even now, if he comes to me and he says, forgive me, ready, let's go. So again, the chosen means we should understand that as I said, Lord has chosen. I mean, his mood itself is like that, right? His mood is that everybody should come back home, back to God. And that's why he hides in the heart of every living entity, even. Now you have forgotten me. That's okay. But I'll not forget you. I'm there with you. So what I meant to say is the Lord has already demonstrated enough. What this verse means is essentially like what we heard today. That only by devotional service he can be attained. Because the Lord also says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he is very difficult to obtain, right? So he doesn't give himself to everyone. Right? Yeah, why would he? I mean, why would you give yourself to everyone? No. If somebody will handle you properly, you would give yourself to them. So similarly, the Lord, he doesn't give pure devotional service. It is very rarely obtained. He wants to give to everybody. Again, it doesn't mean that he doesn't want to give, but people are not ready to take it also. Because by pure devotional service, the Lord himself is controlled. It means there is a price. There is a price. Vasha, like this verse was there. To be able to control the Lord, it cannot everybody can control the Lord like that. So when we hear that chosen, we can understand like that, and that even there, it's not that he chooses. He gives this Bhakti Lata Bij like to all of us. Whoever wants to take it, he gives it to us. You follow. But then we have to cultivate it. He will not just like this whole discussion that Vyasa Puja yesterday we were hearing. This Kripa Siddha. Why doesn't the Lord just give me the topmost benediction? Why do I have to sort of struggle and go through this process and all that? Just give it to me, no? Give it to me directly. So Maharaj was saying that usually when somebody gives it like that to somebody, they don't usually value it. Not only that, Maharaj was saying, well, we have to also examine our adhikar. I mean, when I'm asking for the topmost, am I even qualified? I mean, on what basis can I even ask? Something like that. Yeah, the Lord is merciful, but the devotee is thinking, I'm not deserving of it. So he is equal. Ye yathamam prapachyante. When there is free will, and the Lord, he comes. I mean, he like the Vaishnavas, yeah, they come down to the Madhyamadhikari. So when you say chosen means, so the Madhyamadhikari, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Haridas Thakur and Lord Nityananda, you go door to door and you preach to everyone. You follow. He specifically said, don't discriminate that this person is qualified, this person is not qualified. You go door to door, you approach everyone. So in that sense, the devotee approaches everyone. The Lord approaches everyone. But if somebody says no, then the Lord respects that. So if you say no, then okay, fine. Maharaj was saying yesterday that Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't know the words, but apparently when Lord Krishna went to Dwaraka, went to Mathura, there was a washerman and there was another weaver or something like that, or a person makes garland. So Lord Krishna, he approached both of them. He said this exact same words. Essentially, he asked them for service. I mean, he tried to engage them in service. He said, can you give me those garlands? Or can you give me some cloths like that? He used the exact same words. The person who was making the garlands, he said, wow, this is the perfection of my day, of my life. Lord Krishna has come and is asking me. And the washerman, he chastised. He said, who do you think you are? These are the clothes of the king. Lord Krishna killed him. Maharaj was saying the same exact words were spoken by Krishna to both. Sanskrit. One said yes, one said no. So anyway, the Lord chose both actually. Lord, he went. You follow? Lord went. He didn't say, this fellow is nasty fellow. I don't even want to go to him. He went to the washerman. He asked. You follow?
Yes, Prabhu. The desire and the will of the individual also matters the most.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Then there's this degrees. Ye yatamam prapajyante. What does one want? The Lord gives that accordingly. He reciprocates accordingly.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Anything else? Because people have misunderstanding that the chosen one means, sometimes we hear that, somebody got a bolt of lightning and like they were self-realized, something like that. I'm the chosen one. Well, yeah, okay. So Srila Prabhupada, we can say Srila Prabhupada was, he was the chosen one to be the Senapati General. Yeah, so they are exceptional devotees like that. Yeah. But so we can be a small soldier. What's problem? What's the problem? We don't have to be Prabhupada. If Krishna is choosing us to be a small soldier, be happy and be a soldier. What's the problem? No problem. Okay. Anything else? Yours will end. Satya, are you there? Or is it Kanaka Manjari?
ప్రభు నేను ప్రభు
Okay.
సత్య బిజీగా ఉంది ప్రభు
All right.
స్టడీస్
Okay. All right. Thank you all for joining. We'll end here. Hare Krishna. So happy Ram Navami tomorrow to all of you. Hare Krishna.